And just can you tell me about the letter that you're handing in today to the DSD?
Yes, we're asking that they will release the funds that have been committed to sustain the core, just the core costs of running the organisations. And, I mean, for projects like education and training, we're confident enough that we can fundraise for the projects, but to run and sustain the core costs, we're asking the government to keep to their promises and actually deliver on the ground.
Basically, our funding is being stopped in March, and it may seem strange, the only man in the organisation, but they've been struggling now for a long, long time. There's always funding problems, and this time there is no hope. We can't see any hope at all. And when you look at the response here, it is absolutely astounding when I look at this, and I'm just a poor man.
The Women's Policy Group, who are facilitated by NICFA, have come here today to protest at a lack of funding for the women's sector here in Northern Ireland. And we're about to head off now and hand in a letter to the DSD. Arrived now at the DSD offices, and the women who have gathered here today are preparing to hand in their letter. We're just waiting for somebody to come out from the DSD to meet with them.
We're here to protest. We want money, and we want it now, and we want to ensure the future of all the women's centres. I sit in a committee of one of the women's providers, and yesterday we had to tell 3 women that had worked for a month that they had to go without any wages because one of the funders has put restrictions on it and are looking into it, and this is not acceptable. It's not acceptable in any other working environment, but it's put on women's centres and women providers.
Ladies, can you tell me, I've been down to the Shankill Women's Centre and I know you have amazing facilities down there. What would it mean to you if the funding was cut?
Well, if the funding was cut, it would mean no job for me. I've worked for the Shankill Women's Centre for 11 years. I'm the childcare manager, and I've worked from coming in as a worker and worked through, and the Shankill Women's Centre has done lots for me, put me through courses, and I wouldn't be able to, well, I could carry on working somewhere else, but I don't want to. I want to work for the Shankill Women's Centre, and I enjoy working in the community sector, I enjoy being able to provide stuff for people, and the mothers. My creche at the moment is full, and those mothers would lose out greatly if the Shankill Women's Centre lost their funding.
What does, just come out from under there, what would it mean to the women in the area to lose the childcare facilities that you have?
Well, the childcare facilities we have at the moment are very affordable, which means, and because for women who are working part-time, that means a great deal, that they're not paying out a lot of money, and I think it would mean a big catastrophe if this funding was pulled and these women lost these places, because they may not find places with such affordable childcare somewhere else.
What would you like, if you could talk to the government now face to face, what would you like to say?
I'd like to tell them to make all the women's centres core funding and to pay us, to make us there for the women, and also pay for the childcare actually, but as well, you know, pay for the wages so we can keep this childcare centre open and the women's centre open, because the women's centre also has education classes for women, and it's helping women get back into work when they've had their children and got their children to school and they want to go back to work.
The Falls Women's Centre is set in West Belfast, and it was an area of high deprivation and social exclusion, really. It has suffered a lot. Our centre's 22 years in existence, and it was meeting the needs of women. We have now expanded to a new building, purpose-built. We could do with another building the same size again, because we're able to offer women courses that will start from the basic self-esteem courses right up. I had 3 women that went through our centre last year, went on to 3rd level education. One of them is now finishing their degree. I've other women that went on to a technical course doing computer technician courses. We were able to offer them. Women couldn't have availed of that centre unless we had childcare. We were able to offer support facilities of childcare, a small library, support. We had advice on benefits and how they could manage. We deal with all types of abuse. We have counselling. We have an after-schools project.
We really need this women's centre open, not only for myself but for other women too in the Shankill community.
I don't think you even realise the services that we're providing. Or maybe they do and it's the cheapest option for them. They don't care that somebody's doing it. They're totally reliant on people doing voluntary work, which is wrong. And if you went through all these centres that are here today and seen the many women that has went through and the many services has been that the women have, advice centres and support, educational support, essential skills, childcare, which very few other educational bodies provide.
Can I ask for a comment for community television about the women's protest?
Obviously people are very concerned about some issues, and I'll take this and pass it back to my Minister on behalf of government in general.
Can I ask you why isn't the Minister here today?
The Minister's in London today, that's his normal schedule.
So he couldn't be here to meet with the women of Northern Ireland? Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Let's be hopeful about it and see if they can do something. We know they have the ability if they take it seriously, so let's hope today that they've seen that women are serious in Northern Ireland. We're here to make a statement that we think our work is valuable and the services that we deliver in the communities we work in Northern Ireland wide. So we will wait till we put a time limit on it on a response from Mr McGrath and hope that we can do something soon. So contact the Women's Policy Forum through NICFA and they will keep everything rolling, and email them and let anybody know if anybody gets any word of funding. Let's all stay together on this. Okay, thank you for your show of support.
Funding and sustainability has always been an issue. Do you think the government are going to listen?
Well, I think it is rank hypocrisy that Angela Smith is launching a campaign on domestic violence at the same time that women's centres are having to close essential services through lack of funding. In the last 18 months we have dealt with over 2,000 women on issues like domestic violence, rape, child abuse and trauma. And at the end of March those services will go because we don't have the money to sustain them. So on one hand the government is launching very publicly campaigns around very real issues that affect women, and on the other hand are denying them the services that they need in order to build strategies and to keep themselves safe.
Yeah, they've actually recently launched their Gender Matters strategy, and they've actually have an executive summary of that, and they say that they're doing work at grassroots level, that they're consulting with women. Would you think that they're doing this adequately?
I think their gender strategy consultations have left much to be desired. They have excluded ethnic minority women, they have excluded women over a whole range of issues because they argue they'll be picked up in other government policies that we haven't seen yet and haven't been produced yet. Their gender strategy ignores the very real problems women have in relation to equality with men. It ignores issues like violence, or it underplays them considerably. I think that the government really needs to wise up and get down on the ground and realise what's happening here.
So the women have come here today to the DSD. They have made their statement, they've handed in their letter, and it is to be forwarded to the Minister, who couldn't be here today because he is in London. And we'll see what happens. There's passion, there's disillusionment, and many of the women are angry at the fact that their funding could be cut after March of this year. And all they are asking the government for now is for core funding, so they can continue to run the services that they do that are essential to the communities that these women's centres are based in. So we'll watch this space.